Hello everyone and welcome back to John Bill's iconic military models. Okay, so as you can see it's a lot different surroundings it's been used to for the last 2 or 3 years. So people that's been actually following my channel right from the start, I'm actually back in the same location where I started 4 years ago. I actually started YouTube just where I'm going to show you the Victory in a minute, right in this little corner here. I started obviously building my original HMS Victory just on that corner. So I've been building in my own little model room for the last 2 or 3 years, but I've actually just recently moved out of that, and I've gone into that in more detail for my channel members and patrons. But just for the short-term period, I'm actually just working down here again, just for the reason that I can still carry on building my HMS Victory and obviously try and release videos for you all to see. Okay, so after being waiting nearly about 3 months for some parts, I actually received some parts about a month ago, but I was just finishing off the Bismarck, so obviously that's finished off now. So I've just recently started turning my attention to Victory again. Okay, so I've got a short little video just showing you all like a little picture highlight reel for about 1.5 minutes, and then I'll go over to Victory and I'll show you exactly everything I've done. Okay, so you can see Victory's back on the table, and it's a lot different to where I left it off last time. So if you haven't seen the previous video, probably a good idea just to go back and view that first, and you'll get a complete understanding exactly where I left it off last time. So I'll just take out these masks just to and I can show you better exactly what I've done. Let's move this poop deck. Okay, so when I'd done the last video, I'd pretty much finished off all the lower deck, and then obviously I was waiting as I was starting to go through the kit, starting to realise, looking exactly what parts I've got, I've realised I was missing all the. Take this out actually a second, because otherwise it won't make a lot of sense to you. Yeah, so I pretty much completed all this this lower deck off, and I was waiting for all these supports, because my deck went about there, and I didn't have any more supports to carry further, so I was waiting for them, because I realised, like say, this Victory kit, you get like one complete deck. You get like a complete deck. Like I say, at the minute, it won't make a lot of sense to you, but normally, when you build this kit, how you would build out the manual, you have this, and you fit it in one complete piece, you deck it, and then you fit it on top as obviously you work in. But obviously, as I've been waiting for the parts to come, I'm thinking about in my own mind just how I can slightly make it a little bit more easier, because I didn't really fancy trying to slip on a complete deck once I'd finished. This is the deck that I received with this kit, because this is a kit that somebody else has already started building, and I've just got the kind of the pleasure of finishing off. So that's how you would do it. This complete deck can all be flanked, and then you slip it over the top, and then to kind of secure it. But like I say, the last couple of months, while I've been waiting for the parts, I thought that maybe I'd do it a little bit different, and that's what I've been doing. So really, all I've done is obviously I received all these support beams. So none of them actually even though I ordered the ones that I asked for, none of them seemed to be the right correct number, so I just had to make every single one of them fit. And then what I decided to do was actually this complete deck, I actually cut it down into like manageable templates, so then I could bring a template over to this part of the section where I was working on. Yeah, so I kind of overlaid that. So imagine how hard it is to fit this. So imagine if it was completely decked and then trying to fit it. Yeah, so then I worked out exactly where I needed to put all my my spars, and so I thought I decided to frame it just underneath, just so you get a slightly better authentic feel of how Victory would have been built. Because all you would have done with this, once this was put on, decked, and all you've done then is just veneered the little hole in the opening just over the top. And I just thought it just slightly look a little bit better doing it that way. Yeah, so now as before, once this deck had been laid on, and then you would have veneered it with some 0.5 just veneered wood all the way across, so it looks like obviously that. But what I've decided to do, now I've done it this way, is now I've actually ordered some 4mm by 2.5 timber, and now I can completely make it more of a constructional kind of deck, and I'll put them all on individual pieces. So you can see why I've made these openings for like a raised section. It's just now this opening comes up nice and flush to the thickness of this deck. So all I've got to do now is just start to fit all this decking on, and then cut it around all these openings. And I just think personally, I mean, you didn't have to go to this kind of trouble. It would have been, I mean, just be quite as nice if people are building it straight out of the structure. It's just quite nice to kind of build it and then lay that on. But because I had time on my hands while I waited for this to arrive, I did thought that maybe I'll do it a little bit different. And like I say, my end goal at some point is I would like to completely build a Victory from scratch. So you have to use all these kind of techniques in for that. And also, once you've got this deck, all the skid beams were like glued underneath and then attached to the bottom of this framing. And same again, even though it would be absolutely perfectly fine to build it like that, I just thought because I wanted to individually plank it, I thought it'd be easier to kind of sort it out, so then I could just put this in situ. And I've not done anything different. All I've done is just added a little 1mm by 4mm, this little planking, just so now it fits exactly between these frames, and it obviously sits on them pillars. So when I glue that in right at the last minute, I can kind of glue this in and secure it, and then I can continue in the planking all the way across. And I just think, for my own personal preference, like I say, I just think I'll just be more suitable for how I want this Victory to look. So I've still got some work to do on this. This still needs staining black all around these skid beams. They need staining black, and then pretty much I've got then to turn my attention to this Forecastle, because I've not really done anything to this yet. So that's pretty much how it looks. So I've got to do exactly the same thing. I've got this template, so I've cut it along there. So now this fits in just nice on the front of this Forecastle. That goes in there. So now I can work out exactly where I need to put some support beams, exactly the material I need to cut out, because obviously I've got to cut out some of these supporting frames, because like before, all you did with these ones, you just fit them over top. In fact, I might have one from the previous build that I can show you. Yeah, so this little section just came with this, so that just was clipped on there. So if I wanted to, I could do this exactly the same. Which side on this one? Oh, it's on that one. Yes, on that one. So I could do exactly the same, where I could just make some more, plank this, and you just fit them over the top. But because the same again now, because I'm doing it all individually planked, I've kind of got to frame it out exactly like I've done these sections. So yeah, what I need to do is either remove these sections, put some more support beams across there like I've done with that one, and then frame it out ready to take them. So I've already started to mark some, so that's what I need to do, is I need to cut that section out, but I also need to cut out around about 4mm either side, so then I can come with some 4x3s and take some 4x3s across that way like I've done here, so then that leaves me a nice support, and then I can continuously frame it all out on all these sections, and then just make out the little holes where the bits need to come through. Like I say, I mean, a lot of people thinking, why you go into trouble, and it's just mainly because I had the time, and I'm also, as a lot of my building is, it's all practice for what hopefully will be my end goal is when I build myself a complete Victory from scratch. So it's all mainly just trying to, because I mean it looks nice, but if I built it to how it looks in the anatomy and Nelson shapes, it's obviously it's built okay, but it's not correct. There'd be a lot more joinery, a lot more support beams going across to get it to look exactly how it does. But I just thought, for my own personal techniques, practicing, I'm quite happy with that. And same again, it's like if anybody watched my videos when I did my earlier HMS Victory, these were like, this wasn't how it is constructing this one. These were kind of just plonked on the top of the complete deck. So that would on my older Victory. In fact, I'll put a link in the video and you can kind of go back and look at that. They were literally just kind of attached to the deck after, and for some reason it just never looks quite right. I'm never quite happy with it, exactly how it turns out. So I'm not, I mean, like I say, this model is not for me, this is for somebody else. When it's finished, it's going back to the owner. But same again, it's a lot of work, but I just think it's, I mean, it's so much worth it. And I just, same again, I'm going to be so much more happier with this model than I will my own model, but I'll be able to take these techniques into everything that I build after. Yeah, so pretty much I'm hoping that I can, now I'm going to spend the weekend kind of finishing this one off and making it look exactly how this section does. And then all I've got to do then is just, I can completely plank this this top deck, and then once that's planked, then I can start working on, obviously, all the Admiral's quarters. Then the poop deck will sit on top of the Admiral quarters, and then I've got to line all the bulwarks on the Forecastle and obviously midships. And then I don't think I'll be that far off from the position I was with my own Victory, because even though this is it's a larger scale, because a lot of the parts are laser cut, obviously other than these, I mean I've had to make these myself, but a lot of the parts come all laser cut, all the linings, the bulwarks, and all the bits that sit in front of the bulwarks, they're all laser cut. I've got like another laser cut part, as you can see. These are all that's going to be attached to the fronts of the bulwark. So yeah, I'm hoping it should be a lot easier than it was with mine, where everything had to be hand, scratch built. So yeah, I just wanted to do you a little bit of an update today, just because I've not done one for about 3 months. Let you know the progress. Like I say, if you want to go back and watch the previous video, you'll be able to really see how much difference I've made from that video to this one. So yeah, only took me a weekend. It took me about 2 days from getting the parts to kind of getting it to this stage. So I think it'll probably take me another weekend to get this Forecastle finished off and all planked, and then I'll be able to move it on to the next stage. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, obviously a little bit of an update. Like I say, at some point I will start doing some step-by-step guides again, but there's a minute, as you can see from just the surroundings I'm working at the minute, I'm not really set up for that at the moment, but I'm hoping that in the near future I will be able to again. So I'm planning on, maybe I might try and do another update for New Year's Day, and then after that it'll be an update, hopefully every month, probably like the start of the month, every month, so I can show you the progress I'm going to do with this victory. Anyway, so thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Take care everyone, and goodbye.